My name is Anthony James, and I love the German Netflix show Dark. I love it so much that I started a YouTube channel to talk about it. From the start, I've been told that the Dark train won't last forever, and if I want to continue to grow on YouTube, I need to move on. Well, you know what? I don't want to move on. This show is worth more. It's worth more theories, more analysis, deconstruction, and discussion. So if you're not ready to move on either, then you're in the right place. Right here on Dark Discussions. I've done it again. Hello, and welcome to Dark Discussions. I'm Origin Anthony James, your host. Thanks for joining me, guys. Right, this week we're looking at the genre of Dark. I can already see Top New Pro has jumped in there. Thriller, psychological thriller, mystery. Yeah, okay, it might be that simple. But you know what? We're going to get to the bottom of it. But before we do, let's address something. What's going on in this area? Well, I'm currently in that awkward stage of I've just trimmed my beard and I don't know if it looks good or not. It obviously doesn't look good, but it will in a few days when it grows out a little. I've done it myself, so there are a little bit of weird things going on. But anyway, I'm going. It's a whole process I'm going through at the minute, to be honest with you. So anyway, guys, today we are going to be finding out once and for all what genre Dark is. Now, to me, it's a whole load of different genres. But before we get into that, I've got a fun way to do that. I want to talk just in general before we do that about this show, Dark Discussions, what I want to do with it, and sort of what my feelings are going forward. Last week we did I did a live stream ranking all the characters from season 1, and to be honest with you, I was really happy with how that went. I really like the fact that I was able to talk to the people in the chat quite a lot. They had some input in what I was doing, and going forward, I'd like to design Dark Discussions around that. Now, obviously, not entirely. I'm still going to do my character studies. I'm still going to do my other deep dives and other stuff. But every now and then, I think we can do it. But I kind of want to do a live stream every week. That's how I'm sort of feeling at the minute. Maybe a character study. I can't quite do a live stream. Maybe that wouldn't lend itself to that. But I don't know. Maybe it would. Maybe it would. We'll see how we get on. But I like the idea of the live stream. Now, because of that, unfortunately, that means, and this will be the last one I put up, but that means that I'm going to stop doing. I'm going to stop doing audio podcast. And I'll tell you why. There are a fair amount of people who are listening on the audio podcasts. However, if I'm shifting to more of a live stream, talking to the chat, having things more visual, that sort of show, then I don't think that is going to benefit the audio listeners. And to be quite honest with you, even though some might still watch it and some might listen to it, I don't feel right putting a substandard product out there. Like you might have noticed already from a lot of my stuff on YouTube from just the past 4 or 5 months when I've been on YouTube, is that I like things to be of a certain standard. To be honest with you, there's certain times when I haven't been able to record something and I've had to wait days because the internet wasn't working right or my computer wasn't set up properly. I'm only one man. I don't have a huge amount of money to spend on this YouTube channel, except for obviously people have made some great donations, which is very much appreciated. But I like to use the skills that I have to try and make it a good quality. That being said, if I was to continue these live streams and keep putting it up onto the audio apps as an audio podcast, I'm sorry, this just isn't an audio podcast anymore. So I wouldn't feel right doing that. So I hope you understand. If you do still want to follow me and if you still want to come over to the YouTube channel and watch me this way, then I'd be very, very happy for you to do that. But unfortunately, it's not what I'm going to do going forward. I might change my mind. Dark Discussions might go back into sort of a more scripted idea where it's less conversational. But my whole idea was that we as a community can talk about Dark. And that's sort of what I like about this streaming thing going forward. Also, another thing I wanted to mention is I wanted to float the idea to you guys. I don't know how I would do this, but I'm sure I could figure it out. What do you think about having like an end of dark. So I'm thinking of the After Dark podcast now. An end of dark sort of memorabilia in some way. Like, for example, like we could release a T-shirt. If you guys would like that. So for Konrad and I getting to the end of Dark, finally, we might release a T-shirt, I'm thinking. I was going to get my wife, Ema, to design it. And if you want to throw some ideas for designs down into the comments, that'd be fantastic. My current favorite idea is for my wife to draw, like do an illustration of Konrad and I like going into the caves like Marta and Eunice. And that would be the front of the T-shirt. That's what I'm thinking at the minute. Now, I don't know how to print T-shirts that I make any money, so it will be literally for no money. It will just be for you guys to have a little token, because I think we went on quite a journey in that After Dark podcast. I'm really looking forward to starting our next journey, but we went on a real journey, and I think I love the idea of taking Konrad through shows, and I think if we marked the end of this journey with Konrad with some sort of memorabilia, it would be pretty cool. So I think that's something that I'm going to do. How I'm going to do it, I'm not sure. So if you guys have any ideas on how I would do that, again, put them in the comments. That would be great. At the minute, my head's even thinking, in order to get a really good quality T-shirt, I'm thinking maybe an Indiegogo, and then using that money, I could go and get them professionally printed. Whereas if you use a company like Redbubble, which are the ones that you can just upload an image and then they send you, I don't know the quality of Redbubble, so if anyone could advise me on that, are they good quality? I'm not sure. I don't know what the best way to get a good quality. Like, I'm not just going to sell you his old tat, so we'll see. Anyway, going forward, let me know in the comments. Two more things I wanted to mention before we get into this hilarious thing we're going to do today, which is completely pointless, but, we all love talking about Dark, is I've got two announcements to make. Well, two semi-announcements. The first is we have decided on the show that we're going to do for... we've decided on the show we're going to do for the second story or second journey within the After Dark podcast. It's a show that I've made a video on before. There's a clue for you. And we're probably going to reveal that on the next episode of the After Dark podcast for episode 4 of season 3. And I've done like a little video package to reveal what the show will be. Now, we're not going to be starting that show until the 1st of February. Because we've got the rest of Dark to do, and then we've also got what else do we also have? So we've got the rest of Dark to do, and then we've also got like the Konrad's Theory Matrix episode to do, which we want to do. We've also got a couple of funny things lined up for over Christmas as well. Like Christmas Day, I think, falls on a Friday, which is one of our upload days, so you will be getting a podcast that day. There's a few comments coming in. So Eric says the OA probably. Oh, I'm not telling you anything, but I have made a video on that. And Shelley says The Mandalorian. Well, I think Konrad's seen the first season of The Mandalorian. It's not going to be The Mandalorian. It needs to be something a bit more teethy. Konrad, he's a big snob. You need to have something that he can pick apart in more detail. And, he needs something that he can get his teeth into. The second announcement I was going to make, so that's first announcement was on Monday, look out for the video package I'm going to put in the After Dark podcast to tell you what our next thing is going to be. And the last one before we get into this genre madness, the last one is that Konrad and I have a new podcast. Now it's going to be launching on the 24th of December. I'm not going to give you much more details about that because we have a plan how to launch it. We're sort of currently working on our launch video for that. But we've always wanted to have a podcast that was more conversational, less structured, and sort of just talks about movies in general. That's what we want to do. And then after our podcast was my baby, and I'm going to continue doing it, and Konrad's going to continue doing it with me. But because of the way it is, and I sort of host the show, and I take Konrad through an episode, it means Konrad doesn't really feel much ownership over the After Dark podcast, which is silly because it's our podcast. But I think we wanted a project which sort of we were completely equal parts in. So that's going to be that. Cabu Cross, if you've seen, so Cabu Cross says maybe The Boys is going to be the next one. Well, if you've listened to the After Dark podcast in fine detail, you would have known that Konrad's seen The Boys, season 1 and 2. So it's not The Boys. It's going to be good, is all I can say. It's going to be good, and it is short. So if it's a show that you don't like, or you've seen it and you don't really want to hear us talk about it, it's a short one. So then the next one after that will be quick. All right, guys, there's all my announcements. Let's get into the meat of today, and I need your help, guys. That's the thing. I'm here because I need your help. Now, I wouldn't be going live unless I needed you here live right now. So what we're going to do, and you're going to laugh at this, anyone who joined in late there, yeah, I know, I trimmed my beard. It looks weird. But give it a few days. Give it a few days. All right. Okay, so Dark Discussions. Here we go. We are going to do a genre bracket. Now, I was thinking to myself, how do I make a video talking about what genre Dark is? Like, how do I do that? Like, do I just go through each genre and talk about the things that it does? Or do I just like choose one and do that in detail? No, we make them compete against each other. Now, comedy is there, Eric. Yeah, comedy's there. Now, what I'll say, guys, is before we start the bracket here, and I'll take your suggestions about who should beat who. What I want you to do is, I've got the genres listed here. So I've got comedy, drama, action, romance, sci-fi, horror, crime, and my favorite, sports. Like Remember the Titans, like a sports film. Any of those, I'm happy right now for any of you to challenge those, and then we can replace. So if you don't want sports there, give me another genre. If you give them to me in the chat, if there's something you want, then I'll change them out. Okay. So other than that, I tried to go. I didn't want to go for like surrealist and things. I wanted to go for more sort of mainstream genres. Noir, yeah, Shelley, noir. See, I don't know if I'll include noir, because if you watch Babylon Berlin shows you what a noir is. And I think that there's no comparison between Babylon Berlin and Dark in terms of being a noir. No one in Dark wears a hat, like a trilby or whatever you want to call it. Like what do they call it on the internet? What do they say? Doff my thing to you, my lady. I don't know what you call that hat. It's a trilby, but they call it something. It's fedora. That's the one, fedora. Okay, guys. So based on this, let's get into it, because this is going to be very, very silly. So first of all, we've got comedy versus drama. The big first round battle. Thriller, mystery. Is a mystery show. I was kind of counting mystery, Samuel. I was counting mystery as like a crime show. Do you want me to change crime to mystery? Yeah, I'll change crime to mystery, I think. Yeah, I think you're right. I'll change crime to mystery. Yay, I spelt it correctly live on the internet. Okay, so we'll change crime to mystery. Samuel, I think you're right. Belinda says, "Hey Anthony, just jumping in to say hi. I'm deep in my previewing festivities for The Expanse Season 5 drops tonight. Midnight GMT 7. Oh yeah, mine's not till tomorrow. We'll definitely check out this later. Thanks, Belinda. Thanks very much. Belinda is the one who gave... I'm going to eventually stop saying this, Belinda, but Belinda's the one who told me to watch The Expanse. If anyone hasn't watched The Expanse, geez, you've only got a few hours now to catch up, because Season 5 drops tomorrow. Okay, so... Oh, Marie Lockhart says Noah wore a hat. That's true. So is Noah, does he make it a noir? Maybe there's aspects of it to it there. Maybe. Is there any character who wears like a big long coat? Adam in season 3? Yeah, Sam, you've got your work ahead of me. The Expanse is coming out tomorrow, season 5. So good luck with that. You're probably more chance to read the books by then. But okay. So I've changed one to mystery, which I think that was correct to do that. Now I'm not taking out comedy and sports, because they're just funny, like. But I think mystery and crime are very similar to each other, aren't they? So that's probably going to be there. Eva does wear a long coat. Is it a dress or a coat? Actually, it's both. I think she thinks she wears both. Yeah. Stranger wears a coat. That's true. I think you guys are actually convincing me that it is a noir. So that's the real winner. Noir's the real winner. But let's get into it. Okay. What do we think? Do we think comedy beats drama? Now, obviously, comedy, you got a plenty of fantastic comic moments. Franziska Doppler's Black Hole. That's one. Jackpot. That's another. What else have we got? We've got whenever Bartos says that Jonas was in France playing Hide the Baguette. That's pretty funny. We've got Egon in Egon in the 80s with what do you call him? Jonas in the car. Talking about the earbuds and all. Grandma and the internet. Yeah, that's it. So there's a lot of comedy. Yeah, no, I'm Mickle. Again, Cabby Cross. Good suggestion. Dubis cool. No, I'm Mickle. So there's a lot of comedy elements in Dark. A lot, and anyone who's following along with the After Dark podcast knows that there's a lot of comedy elements. Venla is correct. Unfortunately, I don't even need to say anything. Drama wins. And if anyone is eagle-eyed, you might notice that I'm just using PowerPoint here. That's the big. We spare no expense. We spare no expense here at the Dark Discussions. PowerPoint, yep. And the thing is, I didn't have enough to pay for PowerPoint because I'm a teacher, and in the UK, teachers get Microsoft Office for free. Okay, so Vola's eye is a long joke, and that is a very good joke too. Yeah, so there's a lot of comedy, but I think we're mostly probably agreeing that drama wins. There, drama wins. Next up, action or romance? I think I know what the answer to this one is. I think I'm pretty sure. Like, in terms of action, is there much action? Much action in the show. I'm trying to think. Is there, like, I know there's some killings, like there's rocks being hit into heads. Maybe when Ulrich chases young Helga through the woods, that's a nice bit of action. That's a bit of action. But in terms of actual like action fight scenes, like this again, Bartos versus Jonas a couple of times, but there's nothing you'd really call like a big action. Like there's no car chase, is there? Really? I mean, they've got a big car, like almost a car crash, car slide in the last episode, I suppose. But there's no real big car chase, you know. Romance. So Anna says romance because there isn't much action, but the entire story revolves around Jonas and Marta. I think I'm leaning towards the same here. So Alex as well backs it up, says romance. Venla says, this is honestly more difficult, but action is like a car chase, fighting, fists, and guns. Exactly. Marie Lockhart has popped in there as well and said, the Easter eggs are funny too if you get the reference. The Easter eggs? I don't get the reference. Explain that to me, Marie. I don't get the reference. And Shelley says, it is a fantastic romance. It's true. I would say one of the main themes of the show is romance. So, unfortunately, action loses out, and we have romance. So romance wins. So romance and drama have got through to the next round. I didn't explain how brackets work. Now, if you're not a sports fan, the idea is that you'll eventually get into the middle and then the winner. So I think you understand it, but I just assumed. Sorry, that was silly of me to assume everyone would know what that means. So Cabby Cross says love is a big reason for so many characters to act how they act. That's true. You've got Claudia and Regina. The love that ties their relationship together is what basically solves the show. You've got Jonas and Marta, obviously. Marta in both forms. Jonas will take any Marta he can get. Basically, love does... Well, but also the idea of love being broken. Like someone's heart being broken as well. For example, like, Hannah's heart being broken a number of times. I think, it wasn't like the love that she had broken wasn't really her love to lose, but she still felt an obsession with Ulrich. But I mean, Katarina's heart being broken, Bartos, come on. I mean, Marta did have lovely hair. She should have went out with him. But yeah, so that's that. There's a lot of romance in the show. Good in terms of the love that's in the show, but also about in terms of the love that's been broken. Marie says, oh yes, explaining the Easter eggs thing. Thanks, Marie. The Easter eggs in the show are funny if you get the reference in the show, right? What is it? The late 1800s reference to Back to the Future, for example. Oh, okay. I was thinking to myself, I didn't know what you were talking about in terms of Easter eggs. How did I not know? Obviously, you're talking about... I was literally thinking of Easter eggs, like literal Easter eggs. Okay, unsubscribe now, guys. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. Yeah, so I've actually made a video on Dark and the parallels between Dark and Back to the Future, so I know exactly what you're talking about. The whole idea that the first season is like the first film of Back to the Future because they go back to the 80s, and then he meets his parents just like in Back to the Future 1, where he goes back to the 50s. The interesting thing is that whenever it came out in the 80s, Back to the Future, and they went back to the 50s, they were going back 30 years. And that was like when the people who made that film, that was their childhood. So they were making a film about remembering and going back to their childhood. Whereas in Dark, obviously the creators of Dark, they were teenagers and they grew up in the 80s. So when you go 30 years back from where we are now, you're in the 80s. And I think that's a really cool parallel between Dark and between Back to the Future, is that both of them are trying to capture the childhood and the nostalgia that the filmmakers feel, which I think is pretty cool. And then obviously season 2 has a very big Back to the Future 2 symmetry going on in terms of whenever Jonas goes back to the day before his father killed himself, and he's sort of dodging his former self, like a bit like in Back to the Future 2 whenever Marty McFly has to dodge himself from the first film. really cool. And then obviously season 3, they get stuck in the 1800s because they run out of fuel for their time machine, and they also accidentally get zapped there. Back to the Future, they got zapped there because of the lightning bolt, and in Dark, they get zapped there because of the apocalypse. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. All right, it is funny, Maria, I agree. Okay, let's move on. Sci-fi or horror? Now, the reason I included horror there is because, you wouldn't really think of this as a horror, but they've got so much horror tropes, so much references to 80s horror. So what do you think, guys? Existential horror? Eric, you are... Yep, okay. I'm someone who suffers from extreme entropy, if I'm completely honest with you. I'm sure a lot of you guys do as well. I think it's a very common thing. And something that it's really strange that this is my favorite show of all time, because it is also a show that makes me go down that path in my brain, which I don't really want to go down, but at the same time, it's so good. So it's sort of, I put up with it for it, you know what I mean? But existential horror, definitely. That's more of a sort of a meta horror. But in terms of a traditional horror, like a jump scare or a horrific act, no, it's not really a horror. It's not really a horror. I think sci-fi wins. Anna's on my side. Sci-fi wins. Marie's on my side. Sci-fi due to time travel, yeah. I didn't include time travel because I thought it was a bit too narrow. I thought we needed a bit more of a wide thing, so I chose sci-fi. So sci-fi, I think, wins. I'm already seeing these semi-finals, the drama, romance, sci-fi, and whatever we choose. This is going to be tough to do, So basically, sci-fi wins there. Next up, we're up to... Shally says, the first season was totally marketed as horror. That's true. It makes me wonder what the original direction was. But I think sci-fi... I think, to be honest with you, Shally, I think the original direction wasn't going to be it wasn't going to be horror in nature. I think the reason why they included so many horror references is because they wanted to... They included so many horror references because they were drawing on their own childhood and their own teenage years, the filmmakers. And when they thought of the 80s, that's what they thought of. And yeah, sure, there was a lot of horror in the show in terms of existential horror, just like Eric was saying, but I think that's why they did it. I don't necessarily think they would have went down like a slasher horror route. Like they wouldn't have been Pennywise or anything like that. Cats, hi. Hello to you too. Yeah, definitely sci-fi wins over horror. And Anna says, the music made me think it was a horror back in season 1, but it's definitely sci-fi. Cool, I agree. And Cabby Cross says, sci-fi, but this one is the toughest so far. Yeah, it's definitely, and it's going to get even tougher going on, guys. And there is only going to be one winner. And from here on out, it will be this genre. So mystery and sports is not even a choice. Yeah, it's got to be sports. It's got to be sports. I don't know, we do know that Regina is a keen fencer. So, maybe if Konrad's prediction comes true and in the last few episodes of Dark they have, it's like fencing. Regina fencing. So whenever Regina gets that big triumphant moment, cycling as well, Marie, there's a lot of sports. There's also, what do you call, any of our any German viewers here might be able to tell me, whenever... Sorry, Anna, I just saw your comment. Hide the baguette is a sport. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. What do you call the thing that Francisca does? The baton or the thing? What's that called? That sport? Is that a big thing in Germany? I'm not sure. LV says sports for sure. The final play that decides the winner between this world and the alt world is between one arm Voller and one eye Voller. Yeah, well, as Konrad says, Voller is Odin. So there we go. The Theorizer says, Claudia plays everyone for sport. You've just done it. You've convinced me. Sport's got to be the winner of this whole thing. Gymnastics, rhythmic gymnastics. That's what I was thinking of, Jonathan. Thank you. So gymnastics, yeah. Yeah, Venla, I think you're right. Rhythmic gymnastics. That's what I thought it was too. I think I even said that in the After Dark podcast, but I wasn't quite sure. Right, okay, thanks. So sports is winning, yeah? No, it's got to be mystery. We all know. We've had our fun. Mystery wins. All right, guys. Have a look at that board. We've got drama. We've got romance. We've got sci-fi. We've got mystery. Ooh. So that's actually... narrowed it down quite a bit, and now it's actually really difficult. But we have to decide. This has to be done. Baron called me himself this morning. He said we're thinking about doing something in the future, but we need to really hone in on a genre. So he's asked me. So Drama or romance? What do you think? Eric has popped in back to sort of backing up the sports idea. 5D chess with multiverse time travel. An actual game. That is Wizards chess. No, it's not sports. Well, let's we've had our fun. We've had our fun. It's not sports, but drama. So Zyke is popping in and saying it's drama. Drama's winning over romance. Oh, I don't think some people are going to be happy about that. I honestly don't think some people are going to be happy about that. Shally says Dark is a romance. It is an ugly romance, but everything driven by love. Emmett Byrne. Oh, there's Emmett, everyone. Say hello to Emmett. Love you, bud. Love you too, Emmett. Emmett's going to be Emmett joins me every Saturday for our sci-fi Saturdays. We do Star Trek. We also do in The Expanse now. So that's this Saturday. We've got our first review of The Expanse season 5 coming out. Also, Emmett's never seen Dark, so maybe in the future we'll get him to watch it. But he thinks it's a romance. All right, Anna says, I think romance maybe. I think the final should be romance v sci-fi. You're getting ahead here, Anna. You're getting ahead, but maybe I'll agree with you. Marie says, it's a family history movie, basically. That's true. I was going to include history movie, but I didn't. Right, Zyke says, and the relationships between the 4 families. Yeah, that's all about love. Romance. This is, like, guys, I might be annoying you now. I think I'm going to go romance. Romance is through to the final, for me. It's through the final. I'm sorry. The reason why I say that is because aren't most romance films classified as drama? I think I'm metagaming my own thing here. But I don't believe that I should have included drama if I was including romance. Because drama is sort of like the umbrella term, if you get what I mean. The drama is romantic and the romance is dramatic. That's true. That's true. Okay, so we've got romance in the final. Next, sci-fi and mystery. Sci-fi and mystery. Alex says, be interesting if you did the same thing with Emmett as you did with Konrad and stretched the Dark thing even further. I've thought about that in the past, Alex, to be honest with you. We might do it in the future. That's all I'll say. We might do it. I don't know. I don't think we're going to get Emmett to do every single episode because it did take 6 months. But I've talked to Emmett before, and I think it would be pretty cool if, like, maybe after we do our next show, if we did, like, 3 episodes where Emmett has to watch each season week after, and we could bring him into the episodes for those 3. I think that would be pretty cool. Again, it's not something we've confirmed with Emmett or anything, but it's an idea that we've talked about. But I don't think, maybe in a couple of years, if you guys are still hanging about with me and I'm still talking about Dark, maybe we'll do another new person to the show whole way through. I just don't know if I've got another 6 months to do that. But yeah, maybe with Emmett, there's Emmett there. He's popped in. He says, "Hey, I can binge shows well, Emmett, that's literally true. He watched the whole of The Expanse in about 2 weeks to get ready for it on the show. So, Emmett, that's probably something we're going to do in the future. But I'm not going to do it we're not going to do a whole 6 month slog of it again. Emmett and I have got our own projects to work on. We got other projects in the works. So Eric says, I think I have to go with mystery over sci-fi. Thanks, Eric. Bring us back on task. Thank you. Or we can trust you, Eric, and Venla too. Getting us back. So Venla says, mystery. The sci-fi is just a means to tell the mystery story. True. Yeah, there is that argument to be made that the sci-fi is sort of not really the genre. Well, it depends what you view genre is. Do we view genre as the setting and the sort of the mechanics of the show, or do we view genre as the heart of the show? Do you know what I mean? So it's yeah, I think I'm going to go mystery. And I know it's a sci-fi. But think about the things that we would talk about. Think about the things that we were looking forward to. We were looking forward to finding out the answers to the questions. That's mystery. We weren't looking forward to necessarily having an explanation of how the laws of the sci-fi work. Now, it is definitely a sci-fi show. Definitely. But I think mystery has to go in above it because that's what we were all thinking. Like, we're all thinking about mystery. we're all thinking about the mysteries. You know what I mean? So I think that's what it is. Definitely that's what it is. For me, again. So this is our final, guys. We're down to the final. We got romance up against mystery. Now, this one I think is a little bit... This is the hardest one for me so far. Because are we going to go for the sort of the emotional heart of the show? Or are we going to go... Or are we going to go for just like the idea that it's a mysterious show? I personally do not know. I don't know which one to go for. So maybe you guys can help me out there. I don't know which ones to go for. Let me think. Okay, so we've got some answers coming in. Venla says, mystery or drama are the winners for me. Well, fair enough. Mystery, well, mystery's in the final. So Cabu Cross says, welcome in, Vincest. A mysterious romance about a boy called Jonas who wants to be with his auntie. Okay. Oh, Cabu Cross. So LV says, romance is at the heart of it, but it doesn't describe what most of the series does. I think I agree. And I think I'm going to take the executive decision, and I think I'm going to make it a mystery show. There we go. I've decided it's a mystery show. Shelley says, if the show was straight up romance, we would not be here still talking about it. Has to be mystery. Thanks, Shelley. I couldn't have said it better myself. Selwa says, mystery and sci-fi for me. Fantastic. Hey guys, could I just I don't really do this very much, but could I say, could you like the stream? Could you like the video? Both Emmett and I were told in the comments of our if you haven't already, just like it because it does actually help. I didn't think it helped, to be honest with you, and I've not really done it very much on YouTube. And then someone told us in the comments of one of our Star Trek videos, you've got to ask, and then like double the people like the video. So apparently it works. But yeah, sorry for being an annoying YouTuber there. But anyway, I'm just going to be becoming more of an annoying YouTuber. Yeah, there we go, Emmett. Smash that like button. Hit the bell. Emmett knows how to do it. He's more of a seasoned pro than me. Eric says, I like the puzzle better than mystery, but I think it works. Yeah, I don't know if you could call I don't know if the word puzzle is necessarily denotes a genre, but mystery definitely is a genre. So I think they're basically one and the same. The real mystery is who disliked this. LV, you're exactly right. And to be honest with you, oh my god, guys, thank you very much for liking the video. But I think I don't really get too many dislikes. I think when you're so small on YouTube and you have people who want to talk about the same thing, you don't really get too many dislikes. But at the same time, I learned a long time ago. When I first started my YouTube channel, I was too invested in what happened with it, to be honest with you. Like I started my YouTube channel and like 3 weeks later I was getting thousands of views on Dark Theories. So an emo had to give me a few pep talks just saying it doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter the likes. Like it's not the real world. Do you know what I mean? So that's like a journey that I've had to go through. And I know I'm obviously nowhere near huge on YouTube, but at the same time, I am very, very, I'm not too worried about dislikes. So thanks very much, guys, for saying about the mystery of who disliked the video. I don't really care at the end of the day. I don't really care because you guys enjoy what I'm doing and that's all that matters. Pep Cool says, by the way, your pep talk is here. Right, Pep Cool, off you go. Give me a pep talk. I need one. I've just been drowning in that dislike. I need a pep talk. Lolly says dislikes help with the algorithm too. Oh, is that true? Maybe it's just because of any type of engagement, I suppose. Is that why? Probably. I don't know. I don't know anything about this thing. All right, guys. So let me pop back to my... There we go. Right, did you notice? Look. I got Jonas's jacket. Jonas's jacket. But it's shrunk in the wash. It's actually my son's jacket. But it shrunk in the wash. Okay, guys. So thanks very much for watching. That's pretty much me. Let me just remind you. From now on, this is just going to be a stream on YouTube. Not always a stream, but probably most of the time I'll be streaming because it is good fun, and I don't have to do anything after this. See, once I click the stop stream button, I'm done. I can go be with my family. I don't have a couple of hours of editing to do, so it's fantastic in that regard. I'm still gonna do some edited stuff, like in terms of the character studies and things. And also just to remind you guys, if you want to put in the comments, if anyone's laid in, I'm thinking of doing a t-shirt for the end of Konrad seeing the show. I'm thinking of doing that. So if you have any ideas of what could be on the t-shirt, my current favorite idea that I had is that it'll be my wife Emma is going to do an illustration of Konrad and I walking into the caves, which I think would be pretty funny. So that's the idea. On Christmas Eve, look out for Konrad and my new podcast, which will be being announced soon. Also, look out for on Monday in the After Dark podcast, we are going to be announcing what the next show for the After Dark podcast is, and that's going to be starting on the 1st of February. Right, guy, Cabri Cross says, thanks, that was really fun. That's exactly what I want from this, guys. I want it to be fun. I really love going in depth and talking about the really dark, like the themes of Dark and like the heaviness of it. And yeah, we will do that too. Character studies are for that. Delving into the more like sort of nuanced parts of Dark are for that. But sometimes we just need to have a place to go and just have a bit of a laugh and enjoy the show, which has brought us all together. Because let's be honest, Dark is amazing. Anna Wolf says here, I'm from the US, and this show is my favorite. But I don't know anyone else has ever watched it. So it's great to watch this channel. Thank you, Anna. That's exactly why I'm doing this, because I myself have been pretty successful at getting people to watch the show. I've got maybe 3 or 4 friends who've seen it, multiple family members. So I know I'm one of the lucky ones. And I'm now using that skill I apparently have of getting people to watch the show to now sort of connect with you guys. So Elvis says, that's a cute image. You were leading Konrad like Jonas led Mikkel. Exactly. So that's what I'm kind of thinking. So I don't really know how to do the t-shirt, so let me know underneath as well what's the best way to do that. Redbubble, I don't know about the quality of those, so maybe I'd rather do like an Indiegogo or something, which would then get me the money so then I can order all the t-shirts to a better quality professionally, maybe something like that. Alex says, everyone who I have got to watch the show has loved it as much as me. I have the same thing. Whenever you finally get someone to watch it, then that's it. Venla, thanks, Anthony. This was great. Thank you very much, guys. I'm gauging from the guys who want to jump in here, the folks who want to jump in here and watch the stream with me and have a good laugh. This is what it's for. So thanks very much, guys. I'm probably going to call it there, to be honest with you. Emma and I haven't actually recorded our his Dark Materials yet, because babies and things. But it's just a life, guys. Life. It's a process. You do what you can. So we are now going to be recording his Dark Materials. So check out, if you haven't seen his Dark Materials actually, and if you've sort of been looking for a new show to watch, now this is going to be a big spoiler for his Dark Materials. Spoiler. If you're looking for a show to watch with alternate realities and alternate universes after Dark, maybe check out his Dark Materials, because it's more of a fantasy, so it's a different tone, not sci-fi fantasy, but it's definitely worth checking out. And then go check out mine and Ema's videos on it, because I'm sort of like Konrad. I haven't seen it. Ema's read the books. I haven't read the books, and I'm predicting crazy stuff. So check that out. It's really good fun. Right, guys, thanks very much for watching. And again, as always, people who watch this after I've live streamed it, let me know in the comments how you think it went. Is there anything I can improve on? Do you think I'm sort of focusing too much on it being live? Let me know. I'm always open for that. PB has popped in. I'm behind, but I just saw that the Theorizer was here. Is the Theorizer a big guy? I don't know the Theorizer. There, anyway. So apparently PB knows. I'm going to go check out who the Theorizer is, but they were commenting along, so that's always great. Right, guys. Thanks very much for watching.